Hey everybody, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. It is springtime right now, which means that it is backpacking time. What we're going to be looking at today is a gear loadout for a trip that I am going on here in a couple weeks, and I wanted to show you my planned gear for that trip. So looking at the table, you can see all of my gear that I have set out for this trip, and this is everything but my food and water. Even though I have an Nalgene bottle, a liter of water here to represent that, the weight that I am talking about for this does not include my water weight or my food weight. So to get into the details of what I've got here, I have a little cheat sheet of all of my measurements of ounces and how much things weigh. I am roughly about 20.5 pounds with my pack and everything you see on the table minus the Nalgene bottle, which I'm going to remove. So I understand that that is probably a little heavier than most people would say you need for a backpacking trip. And before we get too deep into this, I need to explain a couple things. I'm not an ultralight backpacker. I don't get so extreme in paying attention to how much things weigh because there are a few luxury things that I enjoy and prefer about my backpacking style as a traditional backpacker that you don't really get as a ultralight backpacker. Most of that revolves around my food and my cooking. First thing I want to start with is just my chair. I love my Crazy Creek. This is the Hex 2.0 chair. Second thing that I'm going to talk about is my tent setup. And this is another one of those ultralight scenarios where I definitely could save some weight. I am taking with me a Sierra Designs Flashlight 1, which I just recently did a video on this. And the total weight for this, or the trail weight that I have measured, is about 2 pounds 9 ounces. So I've got the 1 footbed, or the foot end of the tent pole in here, and then I have the stakes. I am leaving behind the included poles that shave about 6 ounces off, where I will be using my trekking poles as the poles for the tent. I could definitely go with just a tarp or a bivvy or a ground cloth and get away with that, but part of the idea of this trip is for me to test out this Sierra Designs Flashlight 1 tent, and since it is a new tent, I really want to see how it goes. So the extra pound of weight that I'm carrying there, I'm not overly concerned about. Moving on to clothing. These 2 bags contain all of the clothing that I'm taking with me that are extra or my insulated layers. These are Sea to Summit little dry bags. And I carry in this one my insulated pieces. Throw that to the side. This is a Mountain Hardwear 800 fill down jacket, really lightweight. In fact, this whole setup here was 21.5 ounces, so just over a pound, about 1.5 pounds. This is my Rab AL pull-on. I have a hat and then gloves for sleeping just in case I get a little bit colder. And that's all I take for my insulated pieces. I don't take anything more than that. In this bag, this is probably another place that I could save some weight, but I don't have the money or the clothing to do that. But I carry with me a pair of pants, a pair of long johns. These are some Rab insulated long johns. I carry a pair of sleeping socks. I carry an extra pair of trail socks, an extra pair of underwear. These are the ex officio underwear bottoms, or whatever you want to call them. And then I carry an extra shirt with me. This bag alone is 29.2 ounces, so a little bit heavier than my insulated pieces, but it's worth it for me to stay dry and comfortable and warm at night, as this is essentially my camp clothing. Next up is my lighting options. And this is where I feel like I could make some adjustments depending on what type of shelter I'm using. So currently I'm planning on taking my Black Diamond Orbit lantern, which alone is only like 5 ounces. And then I am also taking my Black Diamond headlamp, but there's a good chance that I will probably only take my headlamp. And the reason for that is the Sierra Design's flashlight tent and the Sierra Design tents in general now come with their night glow, which the night glow, you just basically stick your headlamp up in it and it's a big diffuser and it spreads the light. So I could save some space and weight by not bringing the lantern. Next is my medical kit. And my medical kit alone is at 9.8 ounces. So essentially what I've gotten here, and this is an Adventure Medical Kits, but I also have like pills and Imodium and Tums, like antacid things, because nobody wants to get the runs out on the trail. And then I also have my blister kit in here. This little bag here is my, kind of like my miscellaneous, but I have some trash bags in here, and I have some seam seal, and then I also have a patch kit for my thermarest. And this only weighs like 4.5 ounces. It's super lightweight, and it's important to me to have though, because if I do get a puncture in my thermarest for whatever reason, I need to be able to patch it up, or otherwise I am going to sleep really not good at all. Moving on to my sleep setup, which consists of my pad, my pillow, and my sleeping bag. So the sleeping bag in here is my Nemo Nocturne 30, so a 30-degree bag. I normally sleep pretty warm, but temperatures are going to be around the 30s at night down in the desert where I'm headed. And I'm not overly concerned because I've got good insulated layers that I plan to wear. And I like that I can save some weight on this. There's a chance that I might take my Montbell Spiral Down, which is also an 800 fill sleeping bag. It's about 8 ounces less in weight than this, but I can't decide which I'm going to take. And this is just in a Sea to Summit dry 30D compression bag. I'm huge on taking a pillow in the backcountry. This is the Cocoon Hyperlight Air Core travel pillow. Basically weighs nothing. It's like 2.5 ounces. And normally what I do is take this out of the stuff sack, put it in the compression bag of my sleeping bag, and I'm guaranteed a little bit more comfortable sleeping, especially like with my clothing where I'm not taking as much clothing. I don't really want to stuff things under my head because I don't have a lot of things, and I don't sleep well when that is the case. Your 13-ounce Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite, fantastic pad. I'm very happy with this. It goes with me everywhere, and I sleep really well on it. I love the R value that's attached to this. It's like 3.2, so I'm going to sleep really warm, and I always sleep warm when I'm on this pad. And it's nice that it is basically the same size as an Nalgene, so really lightweight. Moving on to my kitchen. And I'm fully aware that I can save a lot of weight in this situation and this setup, but it is what it is, and I choose to carry my kitchen this way. Recently I got a fry bake, which if you're not familiar with fry bake, you need to get familiar with these. Like, I am all about cooking really good meals in the backcountry. If I was an ultralight backpacker, I would take an alcohol stove and I would take a little tiny, like two cup pot, and do the rehydrated meals, the backpacker's pantry or mountain house or whatever. I like to cook in the backcountry. I like to follow the Knowles Cookery, the bulk ration system, and as I've done that, I found that I feel like I get better meals in the backcountry, less sodium, like you get from the mountain house meals or backpacker's pantry. So essentially, here you are looking at my kitchen, And I've got a few different things here. I've got my pot to boil water. I've got my mug for my drinks or other things that I would use it to eat out of or to stir and make like spaghetti sauce or pizza sauce. This is my spice kit. We'll get into that here in a second. I have a little towel, my fry bake, and then my eating utensils, which includes a bear rope, a little pair of pliers for my pot lifter on my lid. This is a little serving spatula that makes working with the fry bake really nice. And then I have 2 titanium sporks. This is from Hill Sound Equipment, and this is a titanium Light My Fire spork, which everybody should be familiar with those. And then I just have a small knife that I carry in addition to my mini griptilian. Mostly I use this for like cutting cheese and such, pretty lightweight. And then I have a lighter. In my spice kit, I typically carry, this is a mixture of salt and pepper and garlic salt. I carry cinnamon with me. I carry Creole seasoning. And then hot sauce like Tapatio. And then for a dessert that I have planned, which is like a little dessert pocket calzone thing, I just carry some powdered sugar. Very important to me to have a spice kit so you can change up how you enjoy your meals. Like I like to put hot sauce and Creole seasoning in my mac and cheese, which is typically a meal that I like to make. I'll take the mug. This is a Stanley mug. I like it because it's got measurement readings on the side so I can look at exactly how much I'm doing. This is the GSI Outdoors Pinnacle Soloist. I have a little scrubber brush in here from MSR. Another little cup. So I like to do granola or oatmeal for breakfast, and this allows me to have hot chocolate in addition to my granola. This literally weighs like barely an ounce, so it's not anything to be concerned and it takes up no space. But you'll notice that I've got a lot of different things for the kitchen. If I was rehydrating food only, I would ditch the fry bake, I would ditch the pliers and the serving spoon, and I would ditch this mug. And I would take only this pot and this cup. But I like to cook in the backcountry. I like to take dry ingredients, flour and sugar and brown sugar and baking mixes and granola and all sorts of different things that follow the Noel's Cookery, and cheese and dried salami. If I decide, oh, I'm gonna make a calzone today, I can make a calzone and do that in my fry bake. I can also cook rice in the fry bake really well. I can make mac and cheese, and I have a built-in plate as well with the fry bake. There's just so many awesome things about having a kitchen setup like this that makes my experience in the backcountry that much better. Where it's a different type of backpacking scenario for me, I enjoy cooking and spending my evening hours cooking, whether it's sometimes 2 hours time just to get the meal that I want. But that's worth it to me because it keeps me busy, it keeps me warm, and I enjoy the social aspect of sitting around as a group cooking, especially where I don't do a lot of fires when I'm out backpacking unless I'm going to one specific place, the Uintas. So my entire kitchen setup is 33 ounces. And my fry bake is 11 ounces, so you're 44 ounces, which I understand that's a heavy group of items, but again, it's worth it to me, and I'm not concerned about how much weight it actually is because I enjoy that aspect of being in the backcountry so much. The very last thing that we'll talk about is I have just bug spray that I carry with me. And then this is my water purification. Typically what I'll carry with me as well is some coffee filters in addition to my Alchemira. So if I need to filter out floaties and things, then I can use the coffee filter before I put the Alchemira into my bottle. Basically what I'm looking at and what I said at the very first of the video is I'm about 20 pounds, 20 and a half pounds of what I've shown you right now. I'm planning on 2 liters of water, which in an Nalgene that equals about 5 pounds. And then I'm planning on 6 to 7 pounds of food based off of the Knowles cookery system and the bulk ration system that I'm using for my kitchen, which puts me with my pack and everything about 32, almost 33 pounds. Really, for me, staying under 35 pounds is ideal. And I'm excited that I've been able to get specific, pare down things, and just focus on kind of what is the essential to take out with me. I feel like this time I'm not taking anything that I won't use, and in the past I've been known to just take some things that I don't use. That is the setup that I have planned, guys, so I appreciate you watching. Please leave your comments and your suggestions for what you think I could do to save a little bit of extra weight. Outside of my cooking system, if you have comments on that, that's fine. But if there's other things that you suggest, then I'm totally open to that as well, to save weight and make the experience that much better. But thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Please leave your comments, share the video, all of that fun stuff, and I really do appreciate you watching. So we'll catch you out on the trail.